Hello and welcome to the holiday episode 116, holiday episode of DCP. Raise a glass of whatever you want and be merry and rejoice because this is about to be a train wreck.
It's a train wreck.
If you notice Briar's nipples, that's how the podcast is going to be tonight.
Yeah,
I covered my nipples up. You wouldn't notice them because I covered them.
Briar, do we have shockingly similar nipples? Do we? Do we share?
I don't know, but I dig your tie choice.
Yeah,
man.
your
It's like your
tie.
tie choice is on point.
It's like we're matching. It's crazy, man. You know, normally I'd feel a little weird about it.
You
but
look good.
I feel like we're synergized.
You look good, man.
Right? We're synergized right now. I like it. Yeah.
I'm a little upset at how little belly hair I have. This is ridiculous. Look at this.
There's really not a lot of belly hair here either.
Who doesn't
It
have?
looks like Cheeto dust.
My belly is very malleable. Too.
I mean, I where's my lint?
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like Cheetos.
You always have to have that good lint deposit in your belly button.
Yes, yeah. The old lint deposit. Yes. Watts, did you grow a beard?
Yes.
That's amazing.
It covers my entire mouth to where I cannot breathe or eat or drink.
That's actually
Join the
Makes me a
club.
very, very bad drunk Santa.
Hey guys, did you know that we have the long lost but not lost, but basically sixth member of the podcast? Not even basically, she is the sixth member of the podcast on with us tonight as well. Hi, Ash.
Hi, Ash.
Didn't notice.
Hey, everyone.
How's it going, Ash?
Yeah, it's going good. It's sort of strange to be on this side of the
world?
of the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
I mean, so
I can't take
For
Briar
those-
seriously.
for those
Briar
of you
is a
who
bundle
guess
of
That's what
what
you
serious
mean,
not
man.
know.
You come on the podcast one time, you're already throwing insults around.
It's just
Briar
perfect.
is a package ready to go. All right.
So, for those that are not familiar, Ash is our illustrator. She is our graphic designer. She is our, like everything with everything on the back end that has to do with
Artistic director.
She's our
That's the wrong
artistic
way for me. Oh, wait, never mind. It is
director.
the right way for you.
And when I approached her back in a long time ago,
Watch anime. He doesn't watch
3 years, right?
what's going on?
Why is everybody whispering?
Why are we pointing?
Why do you do that?
Okay,
Keep doing your interview. I'm fusing.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I don't know if I pointed in the right direction, but
Oh, we were supposed to point for the. Okay, I did.
We're fusing.
What is
can't
fusing?
see.
Oh,
I don't know what fusing is.
Fire them immediately.
I'm fired, guys.
Wait. Okay, we have all six members here. We can do a six-member fusion. I'll go like this. Ash,
Okay.
do the same thing I'm doing.
Okay.
This is riveting audio.
I know, but look, the video listeners will greatly appreciate. I can't get it right on camera. Fuck it.
There's two.
Okay.
You know, here's the thing.
Can I keep
can-
going?
Yeah,
Yes, you can do
Pope,
it.
sorry for
Yes.
interrupting. All
Sorry.
right.
It's-
We're
it's
very
all
sorry,
right.
man.
I don't apologize. Just do it better next time. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. We've been wanting to get Ash on since I can remember, and Ash has always been like, I don't like working at the front end of things. I like to work the back end. And what I have been impressed by with Ash over the years, this is going to be a different interview because normally I ask them questions. I'm just going to ask us what, her work and, just to talk about her for a minute. All right. So I'm going to start it off. So when we started this thing, we were going to move over from Planet Destiny and we're starting our own thing. I remember offering Ash like $5 a roll of some bubble gum and like a prayer to join us and do this thing. She was just like, I need some extra practice. We'll see how that works.
I believe it was exposure.
We
God,
offered
no, I did not. I never said. Ash, did I ever say that?
No, never.
No. I offered her nothing. Absolutely
Never any
nothing.
exposure.
No exposure.
I
just
didn't
nothing.
promise
Yeah.
anything. I said I can give you nothing but 1/6 of whatever we create, and that's it. So back a million years ago, we started this thing, and I just want to thank you for finally joining us on the front end of this thing. But we could not have done all of this without your help and support. So I wanted to say
Absolutely.
that publicly. So thank you very much.
Yep. 100%.
All right. So tell us where you come from, Ash. Where are you from? What part of the world do you hail from?
Oh well, I hail from Sydney. I don't always live here, but I'm here right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is very warm and hot, and this mustache keeps falling off.
From the heat?
Yep. It's why we're going with the neck beard, not the full beard.
Yeah, the neck beard.
Yeah.
That is one.
It is the proper beard, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's been good. I came back into Sydney for Christmas, and it allows me to do the podcast because otherwise the podcast runs at 3 a.m. I think in European time, and so I never get to watch it live.
So you went back home just to record
Christmas,
the
yeah,
podcast?
Just for the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Just for the
Just
podcast?
for the podcast.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah, it's
home-
very
home for the holidays
expensive
podcast.
Episode.
Yeah.
Well, I remember a while back you had just started, and you were during the first illustrations. You were always very conscientious about your work, and I remember like just saying, you just say, I love to draw. I love to I want to be a part of this. I want to have like a medium to, a schedule, something I have to get done to do. And I got to tell you, like your artistic style has grown.
It's really surreal to look back at it from the first poster we did for Guardian Con.
Yeah.
And how different, how much, like, I mean, not to talk myself up, but like how much I've improved over the last couple of years. And the podcast for me, like, as you said, like I wanted to become a better artist, and the podcast has been a really good avenue to get me drawing every day, to always have a deadline that I have to make sure I get things done. Now, complications where you have to, change things at the last minute, but that doesn't happen that often.
That's cool.
And
Ash, every week you do a different guest, right? And like somehow you perfectly encapsulate that guest. Like the personality of that guest is like nailed in that picture. Like, how do you do that? Like, do you watch their Twitch streams and YouTube videos? Like,
I do. That's maybe my favorite thing about getting to do these portraits every week, is that I always do my research. I, check their Twitter feeds, and I go into their Twitch and just sort of try and get a sense for their personality and how they present themselves. I also get to talk to them and ask, like, how do you want to be represented, particularly for those people who don't use webcams. But it's really great getting to, connect with, the Twitch and YouTube of the Destiny community. Like, I think I've forged some really close friendships with like Blessius and the Mav Show, like through DCP, and lots of others. Like, it's countless.
what's the hardest one you've ever
look at this.
drawn?
Look at this.
That is good.
This is what Ash drew. I just said we're doing an anime podcast. I didn't give any direction, really. And she just drew that. That was it. I didn't need to change anything. It was just instantly the best thing it could be.
What's the hardest one you've ever drawn, Ash?
Dr. Lupo every time.
Yeah. Why is that?
Fallout plays too, and it's because I have the same issue. They have kind of like a baby face, and it's sort of hard to translate that and to also not make them look younger than they are, I guess. Try and make it them look accurate.
Yeah, I have that problem all the time. I walk into the grocery store, people are like, oh, can I see your driver's license? They don't believe that I'm 21. It's just
That's been the story of my life. Like when I
every
shave,
day.
when I shave, like it's like this. It's fine, but I shave and
No.
like, wow, you don't look 30.
Yeah.
So you do your work digitally, right? Can you tell? So for maybe those that aren't savvy about how the illustrations get made, can you talk about what your medium is, what you choose to, how you draw?
Yeah, I'd like to know the process
Yeah.
too. Like, is there a different medium for when you start, and then a different medium for when you finish, or is it usually all one thing? Or
No, it's all digital from like sketch to completion. I use a program called Clip Studio Paint. It's really affordable. I used to use Photoshop, but it's
Wait, you use Microsoft Paint?
MS Paint, huh? From
Yeah,
MS Paint, yeah.
I use MS Paint too.
I wish it could look like it from MS Paint.
wow.
Yeah, Clip Studio Paint. It's really affordable, and I recommend it to every artist or wannabe artist. Just because it's affordable and it's good, and in lots of ways it's better than Photoshop. And it's like they do sales all the time for. It's starting to sound like a plug, but it's like 30 US, I think, and sometimes
That's
50 US.
super
and
cheap.
They have an
Yeah,
iOS
that's really
app,
cheap.
which is what I use because I draw everything on the new iPad Pro
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
with the Apple Pencil, and they have the port is amazing. It's like nearly exactly like the desktop. So I do everything on the iPad, and then I do all the graphic design stuff in like Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your iPad, you're telling me that the iPad is, useful for other things besides Temple Run.
There's no way
Subway
you're still
Surfer.
playing Temple Run.
Oh, I'm playing
suddenly
Temple Run.
revealing that he is now a mobile gamer.
Mm,
So
Oh, yeah.
you play things other than
even
Diablo
more casual
Immortal.
now.
Yeah.
So you do your when I ask you when we're working on a project, like a different idea, and you're let's take for example a certain butt tattoo.
Yeah.
Sometimes you rough things out with you pencil sketch stuff out, right? Or is that all digital?
It's all digital. Yeah.
So you start off by where do you, what's your creative process like? Walk us through some butt tattoos.
From
Oh,
blank
God.
page.
I don't know how many
cheek.
iterations of that butt tattoo I've drawn so far. For you.
Now, when you draw it, are you picturing it on the butt, or is it just separate?
Yeah,
from
can
the
you
butt?
can you like get a picture of a cheek to be able to put on there when you
Yeah,
know?
I mean,
Would it
do
be
you need-
helpful if we sent you pictures of the butts?
Yeah,
really need
reference
an HR
reference
department.
material.
Artists got to
You
see
really
his
need an
canvas,
HR
right?
department.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Did you-
Thankfully, I just envisioned the
Mhm.
butts.
Okay.
right?
No reference required.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
And yeah, we got it done.
Excellent.
Mm.
Well, yeah.
So-
soon.
We have to
soon.
part
call
of-
our chief HR officer, see what's going on
Yeah.
here.
Part of being an illustrator is being able to imagine,
Sure.
have a creative, being able to imagine things, not necessarily having to see them in front of you. Perfect. Understood. I'm glad we could clear that up. So we are going to be doing some reveals tonight.
Not
Right?
butts, not
Not
tattoos.
not
That might
But-
be a TOS. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe, but not the nipples. Nipples are great.
well, we're definitely in on a design. So
Well, I got a question actually.
Yeah.
Also, like in the process of it, about like how long does it usually take you? Because
Oh,
is it like split up over a couple days? Is it like you get inspiration one day and then it like all happens really quick, or like like what's that process like?
yeah,
for you?
it sort of changes. I'll often sketch multiple guests, and then I'll might like do the line work or finish it out on a separate day. But often I do just knock it out in like. It's hard for me to say how long one takes because sometimes you're just not feeling it.
Right.
Like it's just not coming out smooth or anything, or I can't. I have redrawn whole portraits before because I wasn't happy with the finished product. I've done that I think about 3 times. Lupo was one of them.
It's a
Where
testament.
it just like I finish it and it just like it doesn't feel like Dr. Lupo.
It's a testament to your work
So,
because every week when I see the picture, I'm like, "Yep, it captured the feel."
Yeah.
Every
It
week.
It's
really
like
is, yeah.
You're
It's
able
crazy.
to take the essence of what makes them a content creator and put it into a picture like that, which is, it always blows me away each week.
Because it's very important to me. I always hope that the guest, I don't know, just likes it. It's just like, is happy with the work as well.
Well, I think it's something also that we've done since the beginning, Ash. Like when we started talking about this, how this was going to look moving forward, one of the things that we both agreed on relatively quickly is providing the guests with a free, like, licensed product,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Our goal
Yeah.
was to have them be able to use it for whatever they wanted, right? And we've had a bunch of different requests of people when you've made their illustrations that to either make it into an emote or to change
T-shirt as well, I think.
T-shirts, mugs, you know, stuff like that. But it's nice to be able to give something back to the people because that come on the show, because I feel like they it's so much of their time. They content creators could be on streaming or creating, and it's really just their time is money, and it's been such a cornerstone. If you're a content creator out there and you're working on your brand and things like that, I think it's so important to recognize how visuals are an incredibly important part of your brand. And people keep trying to skimp on that part. You know, they don't see the value of it, or they won't.
It's the hard part to get right.
Yep.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
And it's you gotta, you know, and that takes time and energy and talent, right? Because it's I guess the part that I'm trying to look at is what I've always recognized with you, Ash, is that you're not just talented in your ability to draw, you know, these illustrations, but like what Tefty said is capture the emotion of the person, and and that's where you're that's where the
real gift is, because you're obviously extremely talented with the art, but like your ability to capture what it is that makes somebody into a picture is like, that's extremely rare. So, and you do
there's
it,
a lot of people that
consistently.
There's a lot of people that can draw and they're very talented, but you have to work with them a lot more to get the essence of you into a picture or a brand or whatever it is. So to have someone who is talented in creating, but also can just be like, boop, there you go, I understand you, I get it, is just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's crazy because I don't think I'm very good at articulating what I want. And behind the scenes, I'm like, I'm sitting there like,
so many words means so little.
Anyway, Ash is really great about at our boiling down and kind of working with what I have, what my idea is, and then making it into something that is awesome. So it's been a great time. It's been too long for you to come on, but I'm really thankful you're here.
Absolutely.
I think I speak for all of us when I say we're really privileged to have you.
100%.
Really feel privileged.
Not me. You can't speak for me.
Now let's start making fun of each other.
All right, good. That's enough of this nice crap.
Well, I'm just really happy that we have one talented member on the podcast.
Lord knows we
and they're finally here this episode.
Oh man. Not to keep the conversation going about what we just talked about, but like I wanted to say also, like, the first impression is almost always visuals with products. And almost always, if somebody sees our podcast, their first impression is like the thumbnails, the clip, the art. And that's what it is. Like, it's just, you know, it's that immediate, oh, I want to see what this is about, because you captured the essence of somebody in that clip.
I'm thinking this week's first impression ain't so good.
Talking about nip and fresh, you know what I'm saying?
And so
impressionable nips.
You can't judge an entire series based on like the Christmas episode. Come on.
Or can you?
Can you?
Maybe. Well,
We should.
we're wearing what the podcast is usually like, but on us. So they're seeing like, okay, there's nipples, there's bad Santa, there's
Yeah.
They know what to expect from future
Got a
episodes.
good
We should
point.
probably point out to audio listeners, check out the YouTube this week. Just give it a look.
Give it a look. See.
We're gonna
Click
be
on-
opening some
click on the link
gifts,
below.
and you know
That's right. We have gifts.
If
We
you,
did
if
a
you
Secret
liked,
Santa.
if you liked Ingram opening videos, this is basically IRL Ingram opening videos.
And who you got as a Secret Santa
Patrick,
is whether or not
Patrick,
you're
do you
getting an
remember
exotic.
back in the Planet Destiny days when
Yes.
they asked you to do an opening video, so you
Yeah.
opened like 30 engrams, but
I
then they
remember this.
sent me the video to do
Yeah.
the audio on it.
Yeah, no,
So I
that was
had
one of
to
the oddest
commentate
requests. That was one of the
You
oddest requests I
opening
ever got.
engrams.
Because I personally put like a hard pass line. I'm like, I'm not doing Ingram opening videos. I will give you footage for it, but I don't want my voice or name anywhere near this shit. So
I took it as a challenge. I'm like, I've got to commentate somebody else opening
Are you
engrams.
just like,
I
wow,
accept.
exotic? Wow, that's what I wanted.
all I remember is
It was
Wow.
Watts,
If
it
I
was
remember
20
right,
minutes of me making fun of Patrick. That's what it was. They
if I
never put it
remember
up on the
right,
channel
I got
because I just
Oh.
ripped on Patrick for 20 minutes.
Oh, we
and
should
then
put
the
it on
final
the DCP
thing was Gallahorn
channel.
that I got.
Wow.
All right,
Scripted.
so let's start off with we're gonna do our Secret Santa.
Okay.
So I picked names randomly, and everybody got a Secret Santa that they bought a gift for and mailed it to them. So everybody's got a gift at their place that
Yep.
was given
Mailed
to
it?
them.
Okay, let's be real here. We all went to Amazon and put in the address of the person. And then sent
I
it that
didn't.
way.
And then we checked if it had gift wrapping, and it might not have had gift
Yep.
wrapping available. Just saying.
I got like half of it. God, I hope that. Okay, whatever.
All right.
We're opening.
So let's start off with who would like to go first, and then you tell who you were the Secret Santa for, and
No,
then
no,
they
no.
open it.
oh wait,
No.
I think the
No,
person who
Secrets.
opens it, the
Has to
Secret
guess.
Santa
Has to guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Right.
We have to
Okay.
guess.
Mine
All
is
right,
mine's
Watson,
already
start.
open.
Okay.
Shall I go
Okay. Well,
first?
why don't you go
Well,
first?
can you
then?
recreate your surprise and wonder, please?
Can you?
Well, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Recreate it.
I can try. Well, I'll be
Okay.
very honest. Okay, so I got from Amazon something that I've looked at many times before, and this was very
Oh.
surprising because I was like, I've totally been looking at these things, and then it showed up, and I was like, what? And this was like a couple weeks ago, and then
Nipple clamps, right?
nipple clamps, exactly. I was like, how many times have I passed these up and didn't buy them because I was
Every
too
time.
embarrassed?
Every time.
You know?
Yeah, I know. You just gotta
Holtz,
step in there.
thank you
and do
so
it.
much for the nipple clamp. No.
Tefty, be real. If I ordered you nipple clamps, I would be like the 2-in-1 potato chip bag holders plus nipple clamp.
True.
combo.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, so it's actually not nipple clamps, guys. So there is these really cool pocket synthesizers. They're called. They're literally from Teenage Engineering. It's called pocket operators, where it's like it's like a calculator from the 80s that's built to be a synthesizer that you can then program and do like different melodies on. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have a beer bottle opener on top of it too?
No, that's like the tag.
What's that? Oh, okay.
So
Nope.
this one in particular is like a bass synth. Then you can like chain them together. You can like it's got a little speaker on there, and it's got a audio jack that you can then plug in and sample and all that. So I've literally looked at these many times, considered buying
That's a
them.
really great gift.
I have
Haven't
to
bought
ask
it
a
yet.
question.
Okay.
Who took Secret Santa serious and bought a serious present? Who
I
did
know.
it?
This is some bullshit.
Who's
Who is
making
this
the rest of us look like an asshole?
Listen, this is definitely within the
Ash.
budget.
It was Ash.
It's got to be Ash. It's got to be Ash. She's the only
Thoughtful
one that would
present
take
and
This-
has
this
to be Ash.
seriously.
Th-
If it's thoughtful,
This was
it's
definitely
Ash.
within the budget, all right? So that's it, but it's very thoughtful, and I legit was like, oh my God.
It's a useful
I've
thing.
actually wanted this, and I
He
can
actually
totally,
wanted that.
I can like,
Of that
I was
makes
so
Secret Santa
close
fail.
This makes
to
sense.
asking memes because I was very concerned if you already had a few,
that's amazing.
and I was just like, oh, whatever. He probably doesn't have the baseline. I'll just go with that one. So
Ash, thank you so much. I mean, seriously, this is like, I was legit surprised. I opened it up and I was like, how did, and then I saw the note, I was like, oh, Secret Santa. It said Secret Santa. It didn't say Ash, so I didn't know who gave it to me.
It all comes down to Ash knowing people once again.
Yeah,
Right?
100%. Yeah. So this is very cool. I'm very
All right.
pleased.
That is a really cool gift.
That's a really good
That's cool.
gift. Whew.
Ash, you've got to open up yours now.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, that's
I
a good way to
wasn't
do
like Tefty. I didn't quite plan ahead, so I might mute myself.
Oh,
Mine's gonna be real loud when I open mine.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big
Ooh.
bag.
okay. So for audio listeners, she is tearing away the plastic.
You know, we need the
Oh,
ASMR
yeah.
in this.
Fragile too.
Unmute that mic. We need to hear this.
Ooh.
We need to hear all the ripping.
Yeah, this is part of the experience. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. No. This works. Yeah.
absolutely. You do not mute this. Yep.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
This is called the DCP ASMR episode. Christmas
Wrap
edition.
it like you own it.
See that?
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. Very
Jeez,
nice.
that's nice.
Is it a thermos?
Wait. Yeah.
Does it have alcohol?
There's nothing in there?
Already.
It's
it
just instructions.
ships with alcohol.
And there's
That's beautiful.
instructions in a thermos.
What do you need instructions for? Like
That's
put
a lot of
liquid
instructions.
in?
That looks detailed.
That's a hefty.
I
Hold
mean,
that out. How big are those instructions?
Too big.
Do not dip in liquid. Put liquid inside.
liquid does not go outside, but inside. There's container.
Wash your bottle.
We
before
cannot keep exterior
You
liquid
have to
cold.
wash it before use, guys.
Most lids and caps are top rack dishwasher safe.
Huh.
However,
Oh.
hand washing is recommended.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
that makes sense.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, no, very good. Very
Let's
good.
be honest, that's not happening.
So do you have to guess your Santa?
Yeah.
Holtzman?
No.
Oh.
So close. All right.
So close.
How would you know if it's close?
In what relation? Being on the podcast?
I don't know.
Geographically, like, was it actually watts?
Year?
Because like
She was-
she's like,
I'm not.
she-
I'm not going to tell you why I think I know who it is. So I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying. So close.
Do I have to keep guessing? What if I guess everyone?
You got to keep guessing.
That's just the way.
Knock
it
them
works.
out.
You gotta
It's a
keep
knockout
guessing.
list.
Go.
Briar?
Yeah, Briar. No.
Really? It
oh
was.
my-
I guessed Briar. It wasn't Briar.
Wow. I thought it was Briar too.
Pope.
Is it you, Pope?
No.
There's only two people
Well, there's
left.
only two people left
Two
now.
people left.
Is
This
it
is the-
Tefty?
no, it's watts.
It's what?
It's not me.
It's me.
It's no one.
It's
It's me. So
I'm glad we got each other.
I had the dilemma of what do I get you something artistic, goofy, or something that I thought might be a little more useful for like
You did the
everyday
right
type
thing.
of stuff, you
You
know?
both got useful gifts for
And
each
that's
other. This
and
was
that's the
perfect.
reason why I paired you guys up because I
Thank
figured
God you didn't get
both-
us.
you would both pair like equally like sentimental.
So
gifts. All right.
I've
Mine-
Not gonna lie, I was
used-
hoping I would get Asher Tefty.
I've used Clean Canteen for like a year and a half now, and like
Oh, you're matching.
yeah, honestly this is it's an incredible thermos. Like it will keep
It really
your
is.
ice
It's beautiful.
cold for 24 hours. Like no
I
joke.
couldn't have used something like that.
If
Whoa.
you don't drink all of it, it will stay cold in there for like 24 hours. It's amazing. So
All right. So you guys have already.
Well, now
gone
we're at a
through-
dead end.
Yeah, we hit a dead end. So I guess it's done.
I think Pope, Pope, you should go, right? You're the
Yeah, Pope.
Uh,
Let's
should
go,
I go?
Pope.
Actually,
Let's do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
you're the dead end breaker.
All right. Well, I've got like, I already know who it is.
No, you
You
don't.
gave him to me because I picked.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So you shouldn't go next.
Oh,
I'm gonna
'cause
go.
That ruins the game.
but wouldn't that he then automatically spark the next person?
Yes.
I suppose it would.
All right. So
But
I'm
he already
going.
knows who sent it to him.
I'm
Ah,
gonna
yeah, you're
be
right.
surprised.
Wait.
Okay.
Now,
Guess wrong once.
Briar's
How about
right.
that?
I'm wrong.
He's already
about
opening
this,
it.
all
but
right,
I'm
he's already open it, guys.
Just guess wrong once.
He's muted.
Yeah, don't be muting that,
Um,
Mike.
I'm not muted. I've got a 16-ounce plastic wine glass. Thank you very much. Oh my god, this would have been
Plastic
so
wine glass?
perfect.
Nice.
It says I teach, therefore I drink.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right.
Show that to the kids. You can have it on your desk at work.
Yeah.
I cannot
Kids
have
come
that
in, you're
on my-
like,
Can you wear that
I
shirt to
cannot
work?
have that. No, none of these things can happen. Work is not a place that.
Wait a minute. What's this bullshit? He got 2 gifts.
Yeah, this is a 2-part.
I got 3.
What?
what?
Did you just pick yourself for Secret Santa for everybody?
I
I already know who did this. I know who did this.
I know it's not Tefty and Briar now.
No, I know who did this.
All
I know
right.
who is also thoughtful.
All right.
Oh my
All
God.
right. That was great.
The original toilet coffee mug. Oh, this thing is beautiful. Look at this thing.
Is it? Is it
Wow.
a toilet tip coffee
This
mug?
is
That's
the
actually
best. This is the best gift ever.
That's incredible.
Because
That's pretty good. That'll go right next to your unicorn coffee mug.
Oh
Yeah.
man, the only thing would have been better is a unicorn taking a turd into the coffee.
No, you put them together. You put them together. You put the unicorn
Oh.
cup.
It
with
is.
that.
It is for audio listeners. It literally is a ceramic toilet, and you drink it.
It's beautiful.
It is perfect.
Aren't
It's
all
absolutely
toilets-
beautiful.
like it.
Ceramic.
Thank you very much.
Porcelain.
All right, and opening up the last part of this 3rd part gift. All right. Amazon, how dare you wrap things so rapid? Okay.
These are really kind of quite haphazardly wrapped, aren't they, by Amazon?
They put
You
them in
know
a
what?
sack. The
Yeah,
Santa
put it-
sack.
They
Put
pay
it-
a guy like $5 an hour to do this, so back off.
It's true.
All right.
Did the minimum
Here
wage
we
get
go.
raised?
Sparkle farts.
Sparkle farts.
I don't know what sparkle farts are, but it makes me
They
laugh. It's
Come out
it's
of
in
the
a box.
unicorn and go into the toilet mug.
It's on the box. It
This
says
is amazing.
the farting unicorn. Don't squeeze me, I'll fart. Sparkle
kinda wanna
farts
squeeze
is the
you. Don't
original
squeeze me.
farting unicorn plushie, made from soft, cuddly material. You want to squeeze him tight, but be careful if you do so at your own risk.
Open that thing up. Pope.
Yeah.
We
We
need
need
to see
to. We
that
need to
thing.
hear some
Crack
sparkle
that
farts.
baby open.
I need to know if they sound like our farts or
Oh
if they
my
sound.
gosh! Look at this.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait,
It says tacos.
Tacos. I love tacos.
Oh no, he's got a tacos. in
For
the
when you
front.
have Taco Bell, you can have sparkle
Princess was
taco.
right. I should not steal from the royal taco patch. You want to see how rainbows are made? Doodled in the enchanted forest.
You want to see how rainbows are made?
Oh man, you guys want to hear one more? Or just it sounds like they're on different ones.
I don't know what to think. That's amazing.
Okay, ready?
No, don't squeeze me. I'll fart. See, that's why they call me Sparkle Fart.
Why is the unicorn British?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I really feel like that humor is beneath the
Princess
British
was
too.
right. I should not steal from the royal taco patch.
Taco patch.
Oh man,
Watts.
Watts.
Currently looking up Taco Patch in
Watts,
Dude,
you know my
dictionary.
humor.
Do they
all
grow
too well.
tacos in the wild in Great Britain?
All I know
Yes.
is that Watts
This is amazing.
knows my humor immensely well. So thank you for the bowl, coffee toilet bowl, and the
That's incredible.
farting unicorn.
I figured the
You want to see how
unicorn is
rainbows are made?
basically Poker. You know, he eats a Taco Bell, he has a unicorn mug, and then he has sparkle farts.
Nailed it.
This is amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. Nice job, Watts. That was
Nice.
A+.
Good job.
All right, Watts, you go next.
Okay. Mine is in a huge bag.
Huge nondescript bag.
Nondescript bag. Okay, I'm gonna back up.
Trash bag?
No.
Literally
I sent
in.
you trash.
Oh my goodness! What is that? What is that, Briar?
Briar Rabbit body pillow.
Wait, there's more.
Wow. That's amazing.
I don't know how TK's gonna
Is
feel
it a
about that, but-
DCP body pillow or a Briar body pillow?
Oh my
That's up
God.
to you and
I
your
want-
mood.
I want nipple Briar as the body pillow design.
Oh man.
That
And
is
Ash's
art.
great.
It's
who
a
do you
body
think sent that
pillow.
to you, Tafty?
Excellent.
I know who a body pillow would be from. It would only be from Patrick.
No. Actually, no, it's not. No.
Oh, that's so funny.
But
Oh, I'm
it's
totally-
not from
I'm totally-
Patrick?
No, it's not for me.
Oh, it has to be Briar because he's the biggest picture.
Mm-hmm.
He's the main dessert.
So basically, Watts, every time the show's over and Briar's frustrated the hell out of you, you can just
Oh yeah.
it's
can
not
punch
don't
him.
think of it as a body pillow as so much as a punching bag.
A punching bag. Okay.
Mhm.
That's really good. We have a Briar body pillow.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
Very nice.
This is perfect.
Amazing.
I'm going to use this. I'm going to put it on my bed right now.
Mhm. Excellent.
But this is really good.
Let's find out how Tomo feels about that.
You just gotta have the correct side flipped.
I bet you guys. I bet you two are gonna fight over who gets to cuddle
Who
with
gets
Briar,
Briar?
aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. That's
Yes.
what's going to happen.
Who gets the DCP side? Who gets the Briar side?
Oh man.
Mm.
So Briar's up next.
Briar's turn.
Oh,
now.
Briar.
Right here. I got a couple of things in here as well. Well, the first one is not hidden. It's beard ornaments.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you have to put them on.
Actually,
right now.
Yeah,
Amazing.
those are going on right now.
Awesome.
Oh, that is insane.
That is a great gift.
now like little things that dangle from your beard.
Beard ornaments.
I
I
would
should've
certainly
thought
hope
of that.
that's exactly what it is. Okay, they're individually. Okay, they're like hair clips,
Oh wow!
and you just clip them in.
Nice.
Really?
What are they? It's kind of hard to see on the webcam.
Okay,
Or
they're
they
like they're
Yeah.
little ornaments
They're
with
like-
like
yeah.
hair
Oh,
clips.
wow.
They're actual.
Actual
Tree
beard
ornaments.
ornaments.
Nice.
Yeah, these are
Nice.
fantastic.
That's.
I'm a huge fan. I won't put
beautiful.
them all in now,
No, but
not at the moment. And then I also got this red bag.
Hmm.
okay.
Is that some more Amazon gift wrapping right there?
So,
Yeah, I think
Amazon
so.
is coming in clutch. Do they even charge you for that?
I don't think they do.
Not if Amazon Prime, you know.
Oh really?
Ooh.
Huh.
And if you look up at the top right of your screen, if you have Amazon Prime, go ahead and click that subscribe now button. You ain't have an Amazon Prime thing.
Sip caddy.
Sip caddy.
Shower
For the
beer
shower
caddy.
beer.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
That is amazing.
That's
It's got
incredible.
a suction cup and a cup holder.
Wait, does that show it working with a wine glass too
Yes.
on the packaging?
Wine glass and a can.
Let's not fool
That
ourselves.
is
There's never going to be a wine
nice.
glass in there.
No.
That is amazing. That is
That is
absolutely amazing.
beautiful.
That's perfect.
Beautiful.
That's excellent
And
work.
I think this is a receipt. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to spend the rest of this podcast putting ornaments in my beard.
Um,
One at a
who do you
time.
think? Who do you think sent them to you?
Nick.
The seventh member of the podcast, the audio editor.
Briar, this is a live. So who do you
We're
think
gonna need
sent
an
them
answer.
to you?
Briar is equipping ornaments into his beard.
Can you make a guess, please?
I'm going to go with Pope Bear.
No.
I'm going to go with Patrick.
Hey.
Hey!
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
No problem. I tried to also get like like some beer sneakily put into your fridge just so you could also immediately use this. But I texted your wife, and I also probably like, I don't know, maybe I texted the wrong number because I haven't heard a response back.
I think she has you blocked.
Okay, that's fair.
That explains it.
That explains a lot.
I always like
actually.
to think though that like somebody got a random number about, hey, can you sneak some beer in the fridge for
Yeah,
The
You
gift?
throw a couple beers in the shower for me.
The exact
That's
text
great.
actually sounds kind of creepy too, so let's go ahead and read that. Hello, Briar's wife. This is Patrick, one of his co-hosts on the podcast. I have a favor to ask. So I completely understand not wanting to respond to that one.
Look, if it involves embarrassing me in public, my wife is usually game.
Briar,
Yeah, I must have given you the wrong number.
I looked away and looked at Briar, and yes, that's amazing.
That's all
amazing.
the difference.
Mhm.
You had 4.
It looked like something.
Yeah.
You're a festive version of something from Pirates of the Caribbean.
You're so damn
think
I feel
festive.
like it completes the whole ensemble.
It
Oh,
does.
it's great.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
The green one even matches the nipple tape.
It's incredible. Match made in heaven.
All right, Patrick,
Perfect.
you're left. Amazon bag.
More Amazon gift wrap.
Amazon bag.
Damn.
It has a card attached. It says 10 pounds baby, exclamation point.
10 pounds.
All right.
Baby.
A 10-pound baby is in this bag. That's why Pope wanted to put it.
I'm thinking something else.
Watts, you're gonna love this.
The fuck is this?
He is currently unwrapping something and cursing at the wrapping.
He seems concerned,
He seemed concerned.
yet delighted.
Patrick, you're gonna actually need to put this on right now.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, put it on for us, baby.
I'm just gonna go ahead.
Is it
and
a
say
bacon body bodysuit?
Pope
A
sent this?
bacon baby bodysuit.
Oh, I
I'm
think
the
I know
only
what this
one.
is.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh
Yes,
yes,
it is. Patrick
boy.
has stepped away from the camera.
Yep.
He is unwrapping what
Oh.
appears to be a
Oh, this is
gigantic
crawfish onesie.
red onesie. Right? Okay.
Oh
Interesting.
my god.
It may or may not be the shape of what looks like it could be some
Crawfish
shellfish.
onesie.
It is potentially a crawfish onesie.
Really warm.
We are not certain. He's fumbling with the zipper right now, trying to figure out. Apparently, in Japan, there is a onesie that is
Do this
referred
off.
to as I forget the Japanese name for it, but it means inside the stuffed animal, or
Inside
literally
the crawdad.
translated, it means in the animal. And so it's a straight from
That
Japan.
could be taken in a number of different ways.
Right. They have these onesies that are gigantic, like stuffed animals, and I got him a crawfish.
That's from
He
Japan.
can be the crawdad. See, now we have to get a pin that he can put on him that says crawdad
Yes.
while he's wearing the onesie.
So he's officially become the 15 pounds of crawdad. Crawfish.
It's he's the 15-pound crawfish.
Ew,
I figured
15
somebody
pounder.
on the podcast needs to have to have it. Oh, man.
That's incredible.
So right now we're waiting for Patrick to come back from the bathroom,
Yeah.
since apparently changing on screen is not.
Just the thought of crawfish makes him run to the bathroom.
He has not returned yet. We're staring at his wonderful, immaculate collection of magic cards.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. It's got little
That is
clippers.
he's
Crawfish.
got little clippers.
amazing.
Oh, he's got a tail.
He's got a tail.
Oh my good. That is amazing. Incredible.
Wow.
Wow.
That's definitely.
It is incredible.
Watsy, I bought that especially for his trip to Japan. He needs to take it with him and wear it.
Yes, we will make him wear that in Japan. I'm sure Japanese people will be thrilled.
Holtz, I just want to say you look delicious.
Absolutely.
Are you
delicious.
basted in butter? Is that what it is? You baste in butter?
You don't baste crawfish in butter.
What do you do?
You put Creole seasoning on them.
My bad.
real season?
I apologize for the mistake.
Is there a butt flap
I don't know. I've already sat
under the
down.
little craw tail?
I want to say that this is Tefty. Maybe even Pope. I feel like this is a group effort.
Well,
involved.
see, much like the intro to the podcast, had you been paying attention, I am the last person. Therefore, there is no other options but me.
That's fair. So I got it right originally when I first opened it and said, "This must be Pope."
There you go. Nailed it.
Yep. Yeah, you nailed
Thank
it.
you. Now I don't have to change clothes ever.
Yeah, you've
No,
officially
it is-
become a crawdad.
I am my spirit
That is your
animal.
official podcast uniform.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am my spirit animal.
Apparently, they're really comfortable. So you let me know, and I was thinking about getting one
It's
for myself.
really warm, like kind of
Yeah.
uncomfortably warm right now because I already have my heat up in my apartment. But yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
You're kind of like cooking, like
All right.
as
Thank
if
you.
Toasty.
you're kind of
thank
cooking.
you very much. It's going to be difficult to game with just like
But you can.
these
Oh, it
claws.
doesn't have like the flip up hands.
No, I mean it's got. I can.
Holtz, does it simulate the temperature that you might reach if you were inside a pot boiling? So what's going
No,
on?
you generally want that to be around actually like about whatever water boils at.
Nice. 200. Somewhere around
So
there.
we already know that
Around
he's
there.
been cooked because he's red.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
is that how it is?
Yeah.
And
They're
you
not
only want to
red
eat the
in real
crawfish
life.
if the tails are curled. If the tails are straight, it means they died before you
Your
boil
tail
them.
is straight, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Hey, you can play with a claw grip now.
He's a dead crawdad.
Yeah, you've been cooked.
This is worse than I thought. He's now 15 pounds of useless crawfish.
It looks like we answered the question, guys, of who gets eaten first on a plane crash. Holtz is a crawdad.
Yes. Yes.
You're off the hook, Briar. You're off the hook, man.
Oh man!
All right,
we
Well,
talk
that
about
We
was-
had another activity planned, right?
did I?
Did we?
Yeah. Didn't you have a question for like the podcast host that you wanted to ask everybody?
I did, but let's just see who did their homework. All those confused looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Mm.
What?
I'm good at thinking on my feet.
See, I
I
told
was-
you, Brian. This
I
is
was
the
sick and I didn't
quintessential
know about it.
problem. This is the quintessential problem of trying to produce this show, is that I could plan months in advance, and then they show up like the day of, and we're like, "Oh, we'll wing it. We got this."
Yeah. Oh man, my thumbs up looks.
And then what happens?
Dude, it's
We wing it,
incredible.
and we
And
got
it
it.
turns out awesome.
We nailed it.
You know, it's just like that. It reminds me of that time we were standing up and we were sitting, right in front of we were about to go live at Guardian Con this last year and I look at Brian, we haven't planned anything. He's like, "What'd you say, Brian?" You're like, fuck it.
Briar was drunk and has no idea what he said.
Oh yeah. Well, Brian,
Yeah.
That is not true.
it is true.
Okay, that's
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys. I appreciate the you guys, your thought and putting
Those are some good
effort into
gifts.
that.
Yeah.
That was
These are-
great.
fun.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
So the question that I had come up with, and we're gonna do it towards the end, Briar, if you don't mind.
oh okay.
I was hoping to maybe jump into some Twitter questions / like
Yeah, that's
stories.
a great idea. Why don't we ask
then,
today?
But wait, like just so that I can give them time to think about their answer.
Well, I
All
need to know
right.
the
You wanna
question.
give them the question?
Yes, because they didn't do their homework. Oh man, I asked for the same question we're really asking the community. Something that you're thankful for, and it could be something within your community or something that's happened within the last year personally or within your channel or in gaming in general, but something that you impacted your life and maybe that you'd like to share a meaningful story or something that would make us laugh. But that's what I asked you. I know you guys did ahead of time. You thought about it. You wrote down some thoughts and really
I have
kinda,
thoughts.
Yeah, you have thoughts, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and hear what the community has to say first, and then they shared some thoughts as well.
Is there an ornament in your mustache, Briar?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, wait, they should have bells in them. That's the one thing that would
Oh
make
my
it
God,
better.
it's like herding cats.
Giggle,
I'll be back.
and your beard would go. Oh.
That would be good. That would be good. Bells would have been good. All right. I asked earlier today for what gaming and what Destiny's community, like that kind of thing, like what that means to some of the people who listen to the show. And I've got some answers written down. I'm going to read them I'll read a couple now. I'll read a couple later. I'm going to read that one when Pope comes back. Codename Campbell says, maybe I should get this specific question. Whatever. Destiny has
What
brought-
did you ask?
I asked, let me bring it up here real quick. The specific question was, and this was asked today, usually we ask for questions for the show. But this week we asked a little something different. This week, instead of questions, we're asking you to share your stories of what gaming and gaming communities have meant to you in 2018. And then I asked people to share their stories below. So from Codename Campbell, Destiny has brought me to a group of guys that I otherwise would not have met. At the beginning of Forsaken, I was invited to a new clan, and after a few weeks, they ended up making me an admin. Now, the fellas in my clan are like brothers to me. Hashtag Molly Wop Mafia. I like this one because I think it's not like extraordinary, right? It's not outside the realm of like kind of everybody's experience with Destiny. So many players of Destiny kind of came to the game for whatever reason because they were interested in the game, and what they found was a band of brothers or sisters, right? a group of people who, you know, they care about and they share things with, you know, like you share like what's going on in your life with these guys that you've never actually met online. It's kind of an amazing thing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
What are we talking about?
Crawdads.
Crawdads.
Another came from Grays on Twitch. The community rallied around my family to help us during a difficult time when my wife lost her battle with cancer. Having a game in a community I could get lost in really helped. My RNG, on the other hand.
Grays is one of those guys that I love to hear from him, and it's great how his group of friends and the people around the Destiny community rallied around him. I was really affected by his story and the loss of his family, and I just realized how important we can be and impact others. I reached out to him, and it's just it's tough. There's a community this large. You know, it feels good to be a part of that when you need help. So I'm glad that we were able to do something for him.
Dreadnought says we're more than just playing video games. We're a community who strives to make a difference. The money we raise for St. Jude's tells an example. Gaming community unites us all in a very good way. P.S. AR McD is an underrated and deserves much love. We love you, Ash.
I would argue, I don't know if I'm underrated. I mean, she's pretty highly regarded. I mean,
I could be rated more.
Oh, that's true. My point. Go ahead.
It's true.
Excellent point.
I mean, what did Guardian Con hit? Did it hit $2.5 million this year?
I think so.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
that.
Yeah.
My crawdad memory is rather short. I can't remember.
Right, so $2.5 million, but that's just from Guardian Con. If you look at other gaming communities, you know, and other charities, Games Done Quick, and what's the one, the Desert Bus one? Have you guys heard that one where they just played that one Desert Bus game?
Penn and Teller made a video game, and it was a response to like people saying, "Oh, video games should be more realistic," and you know, they're tired of the power fantasies and stuff. So like, okay, here's a video game that would be some mundane task, and it's just driving a bus from like somewhere to
Las Vegas to LA, right?
Yeah, Las Vegas to LA. It's like an 8 hour. It takes like 8 hours.
I've done that drive
to do it.
Yeah,
and it's perfectly straight road in the video game. The thing is, the bus pulls just a little bit to the left.
Does it really?
Yeah.
And it is exactly like 4 hours, 20 minutes. I don't remember the exact time. A little bug hits the windshield.
This is completely absent of this. This is completely absent of the story like that you just told. But I've been on that route, and it's not straight. There's lots of dips and turns.
We're talking about the video game.
I know, but
the video game, Pope, for the kids. Pope.
I gotta tell you about
Pope.
So this bus.
Now you know how I feel, Pope.
And there was these people partying on the bus, and the guy is outside the window yelling, "Woo!" Right? And they passed me as we were driving. I'm like, wow, these roads are really windy for that guy to be passing me going this fast. Sure as shit, like 2 minutes later, this bus is, I come around the corner, and this bus, I see a big plume of smoke, and this bus is on its side. That party bus crashed. Well, the story gets really gruesome after that.
That doesn't sound like a very
just
good
the same. Sorry. I didn't realize how bad that story
Man,
was
what
gonna
a-
end up.
Just a story about a party bus and a crash. Great. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All right, let's move on.
They're gonna put that game.
I didn't-
They're gonna put
Don't
that
drink and
in the
drive,
Penn and Teller
kid.
game.
It's not that interesting.
How do you unlock that
Sorry.
level in the game, the Desert Bus game?
Blazing 18 said 2018 started rough, but Destiny and the community made things better. The podcast I always look forward to listening to what funny responses you guys had. What the fuck are you talking about? Funny responses.
Funny responses?
They're not funny. We're being
Think this
very
is
serious.
a comedy show? Come on.
This is
Blazik,
not-
we're gonna need to talk.
You're gonna need to expand on that and explain yourself.
We're gonna need a follow up on this one.
Yeah, we're gonna need some criteria
Brian,
on that.
So I wasn't on the podcast when you messaged a copy of that guy's response of
Hugo Rune.
now did you explain it on the
Rune.
podcast?
Yeah, Hugo. I did a little bit. Hugo Rune sent us a document.
It's a document. It's a legal document. It probably has. It can be held up in court. For sure.
I would think so. And it's to avoid us getting into loopholes when we're asked questions. And
That's
it is a
beautiful.
detailed document. Perhaps next week we'll read it out loud. It is a document. It's long.
and it goes in depth. It's like he may be a lawyer. He may actually be entrapping us into some sort of thing. But you read
I
it.
know all
and
about avoiding traps. I am
Because you're a crawdad.
yeah,
Well, you're a cooked crawdad, so that's
Let me bring
obviously
it
not
up.
true.
I can at
was
least read
cooking
like
on
the
my
first
own
he's a
paragraph.
crawdad from Christmas Future, so he's coming to warn.
Mhm.
All right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm going to bring it up and I'll read the first paragraph.
Okay. We are waiting for our
I'm
audio.
logged into DCP Twitter. I got to log into the other one.
Breyer is unprepared for this moment of the podcast. Please note the
Right.
fact that he is holding the show up.
Which is weird because I look so prepared.
At
You look ready to rock.
7
Very
Right.
prepared.
You look like
PM on
you're on the party
12/27.
bus, man. All right.
And it's about to crash.
flip over.
It is about to. Now, let me tell you about that guy that was hanging out the window. The woohoo!
He didn't make it.
God damn, this story just keeps getting worse and worse.
What a depressing story.
He
Going
made
to
it.
Vegas.
He made it. He made
All
it.
right,
and
the-
just okay. Go ahead.
The title of this document is called DCP Twitter Question Loophole Avoidance Document.
Loophole.
The
avoidance.
questioner is Hugo Rune, 79. The questionees are DCP crew and guests. To be used in the event of one or many of the questionees attempting to answer the question in a manner at odds with which was asked by the questioner. Section 1, the scenario. Whilst the exact circumstances of situation insinuated by the question have not been specifically defined, the questionees are permitted to construct their own situation, providing it fits the following criteria. The situation should be such that it provides suitable motivational cause to complete the suggested task as laid out in the question.
I don't
They can be there can be no
I'm gonna have
circumstances
to hire a
where
lawyer for this.
refusal to complete the task is morally or physically acceptable.
Hugo
That's
is
the
definitely a
scenario.
lawyer. 100%.
I don't understand.
It's so good, dude. You gotta read. You gotta keep reading it, man. That's so good.
The whole thing, it's better read than read aloud. Just because it's almost like reading like something a lawyer would write.
Yeah,
Can you
it's
pick
like
one more?
legalese.
Pick one more paragraph. There's one in there about the consequences or something. There's one towards the end.
With its consequences?
See one about
for the loophole?
consequences.
I know. All right. Read another section. Just one more.
All right, section 4, the food. The food chosen has to be consumed on its own. No condiments are to be allowed, neither are side dishes. Glazes are permitted should they be appropriate to the selected foodstuff. In the event that one of the questionees selects a breakfast cereal or similar foodstuff, which requires the addition of milk to complete the dish, this also shall be permitted, although cereal will be added before the milk.
Oh my goodness.
Like
I
a
feel
normal
discriminated
person.
Wow.
This is good. This is good.
It's
We'll share
really
it later. Yeah, he put a lot of time into it, and I really want to say how many times we get notices or emails or messages from people, DMs, and on our account of just extremely creative stuff that we are able to share with you guys throughout the year of just people messaging us from the ideas for Tefty's jingle, the DCP jingle that he's working on,
the luminous DCP jingle. Yeah.
Have you been working on that in those creative streams? Is that what you
more or less?
See, I don't know. I tuned in and it didn't sound
I'm with
like
Ash on this. Sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't. You got to wait for the right
You're not feeling
inspiration.
jingly.
Like the right angle. Suddenly, it's like it all makes sense, and then you do it like that. But you got to go through the valleys to get to the peaks.
Dude, I've tuned into your last 3 Friday streams where your creative streams, and you're not it's not jingle stuff you're playing.
We're getting there, Pope. All right. We're getting there.
Okay. All right.
Like I said.
All right. Cool.
You gotta.
I don't want to rush.
I'm not buying any part of this.
I don't want to rush you.
Like
I mean,
to be a jingle.
Yeah.
I put a little pressure on Ash every once in a while. Like a Twitter message that says, "Hey, I must have missed where the link is."
Listen, the river is gonna babble and do its river thing before it hits the ocean. All right. So it's just a little traveling to go. All right.
So where are we right now? Are we still in rainfall?
You can't put that kind of pressure on me, all right? You can't put that pressure on me.
I think we're still evaporating water for the.
We're still forming the planet right now. All right, the planet's being formed. We've got a few million years before it cools down, and then we can start making life happen. All right.
I'm so glad I get to work with 2 creative people on the podcast.
Lex Meldrum sent in a story. I'm a forsake kid or a foreskin according to the DCP.
Yep, foreskin.
I don't ever agree remembering. I don't.
We agreed that they would be called foreskins.
I feel like I wasn't on that episode.
Wait,
that's fine.
You may not have been on that episode.
That must have been why it was such a good episode.
There was like a 4-month period there where
there's kindergartens. People said it's forsakids. We said they should be foreskins.
It was an odd episode. Nobody fell asleep. It was weird.
Nobody. It was crazy.
Anyway, back to his question. Boy, am I sad that I didn't start playing Destiny much earlier. It's been an incredible game and it's kept me connected to my friend that I moved away from. I like this one. You can move away from friends, but still get to play games with them,
Yeah.
I only have friends who I play games with.
Mm-hmm.
If we stop playing the same game, we are no longer friends. Yeah.
Wait. What's this word you're saying?
Do you send him
foreskin?
You send him a contract. Send him a contract that Hugo wrote.
Foreskin. Look it up on Urban Dictionary. It's a person who started playing Destiny during the Forsaken expansion.
So whenever I run into somebody you guys call friends, I send them a contract, making sure they understand. Yes, Google it. Use Urban Dictionary.
You don't even need Urban Dictionary for that one. Just straight up Wikipedia. Well, probably might even be pictures.
Google image search it. You'll see just a kid happy with a picture of Forsaken in his hand. Pope, do you want to do your question?
We can go there if everybody's ready to go there.
Sure.
I don't think we're gonna get any more ready than we are right now.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody jump in. Chime in.
I'll jump in.
Gotta talk.
I'll jump in. All right.
All right.
I racked my brain. And Pope, I do remember this. Pope thinks I don't read any of the DM threads. Like literally 0. I read every single thing.
Sure you don't.
I just don't happen to respond to everything.
Pope,
all right?
Millennials.
All right.
We read stuff. We just don't
I feel
respond.
so bad for memes. I listen to you. I'm just not responding.
Memes can immediately be in the middle of the night and be like, "Did you do this?" And I'll be like, the river. It's got to take its river things, get to the ocean. It's like it's a creative thing. It's got to have its time and place. All right. So it's tough for me to pinpoint a specific event or a specific story for that type of question, because I feel like throughout the year of being a part of this community is that the story is changing every day, and there's always some crazy thing that is being like talked about or discussed, and I feel like that is what makes the community so special, is that like it has all these facets to it. And like sometimes you get some crazy days and crazy stories are going on, we're like, wow, that's some wild stuff. But then there's just like there's things that come in and out that like are related to Guardian Con and like the charity events, and just it creates an amazing experience. That it's the type of thing where if I meet somebody who has no idea about Twitch and the type of stuff that we do as a community for charity and just like sharing vibes online, it's the type of thing where I don't know if I could truly convey it to them, because it's very special. It's a special thing. The type of the daily conversations that happen and transpire throughout the community.
It's not easy to explain.
No, it's not easy to explain at all, because like I'm literally, I think this whole year and like every month there's these really fascinating things that have come up from like, you know, whether it's going to be something silly like coup shaming to how much money we raise for Guardian Con and all that. Like it's
Tefticles.
Yeah, Tefticles, you know, yeah, exactly. You know, like recently I realized that there's a lot of people that don't like avocado, and I just thought that was the weirdest thing ever. And I was like, what? It's like these weird conversations that come up that like
sometimes the reality just shakes your fantasy. I mean, it just
yeah, more or less, you know. Yeah, it's like
just shakes it.
It's like a chocolate covered strawberry that you find out you're eating before you go to Hawaii. You know, 2 tickets to Hawaii.
That's true.
Yeah. So
2 tickets to paradise.
Yeah. So for me, it's really tough to like pinpoint a specific story in that. And I read that question and I gave it actually some thought even before the show. And for me, it's like I said, it's like this patchwork quilt of all these interesting stories that come in and out from the community that like I find very unique, one of a kind. It's tough to describe.
You know, the problem with a question like that too is that to call out one moment is to like short shrift other moments that were like equally as good and may not come to mind right off the bat. You know, like meeting people at Guardian Con, you know, each individual person you meet at Guardian Con is kind of its own special event, right? And the stories that you hear and the stories that they share, and then like having a beer with them and like sharing a joke over a beer, and you know, even a joke over Twitter that you kind of share and like starts a thread going. Like those little interactions are so good, and like they're all brought to the forefront by, you know, like being on this podcast in a really good way. But I'm gonna go with getting a paycheck.
That's so special.
In 2018, we started getting paychecks for the podcast.
Oh, years in.
Yeah.
And
That is true.
Like it's not the paycheck itself, it's not the money. It was something about like, hey, like you got to understand, leaving Planet Destiny was like a big decision. It was a scary decision. It was a leap. Right? It was a leap.
Yeah.
And we left Planet Destiny. We started our own thing. And, you know, like, luckily you guys came and, you know, like watched the show. Behind the scenes, Pope did a shit ton of work to get advertising, to get the Patreon going. But getting that paycheck for the first time, honestly, it was kind of a big moment for me with the Destiny Community Podcast, because it turned it from it validated the podcast in a way that it's hard to it's hard to enunciate in a way, but it was really a cool moment, actually.
It's also interesting to note, like, for me personally, it made the difference for me financially that I could I was living in a part of the city that there was a lot of high crime, and you know, it was tough to be there because that's what I could afford. And for me, that just a little bit extra brought me in the ability to move my family to a nicer neighborhood, a nicer part of town, and it feels good to be able to do that. And you know, just to have this crazy thing that we do, like on a a podcast to be the vehicle that was able to do that. I don't know. It connects in a different way. I hear you, Brian.
Yeah. Like, I know, if you talk about, oh, we started getting a paycheck, like, oh, you just like the money. And that's not it at all, because recently in my community, money's great.
Money's all right.
It's more the validation of stuff. It's recently in my community, we had like a 544 sub train of gifted subs. It was insane. And the thing that gets me is the fact that people are so supportive that they would be willing to do that. And people start sharing their stories of how, this stream and this community and this podcast has changed my life. It's made me, I was really sad. I was in a dark place and you guys made me get through that. And that's the thing that really gets me, makes me cry a lot. I've cried many times, but that's the thing that really touches me, and that we're able to create a community and a place where people can go when they're not having such a great time and they get to just hang out with friends and laugh. And I think that is the thing that really makes me so happy that we did this and we have this place, because we can be that for people. We can be the escape for people, which is really amazing.
It's
well said.
It's hard to picture how, I get a lot of, because I run the Twitter accounts and I get a lot of messages. Like, I felt like I needed to take a break for some time, and I'll talk more about that later. But every week or so, just when I was thinking about like taking a step away, I would get a message, and it would be like this damn fucking message every time, for somebody that said, hey, because we have our DMs open, and they're like, hey, this is how much you mean to me. And I'm like, God damn it. And it's like, what?
Today on stream, we were talking about this.
Oh, okay.
I cannot tell you the amount of people that said how much they appreciate your input as probably being the 90% of people that play this get this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your experience is the majority of people's experience. Yeah. And you say, I know you're concerned that you can't play Destiny as much, but they're like, but that's what we want to hear. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about what could happen in the game to make it more accessible for people who have a job and have a family. So I know you want to take a break, and we're definitely not trying to say, Pope, you have to stay. We're holding you hostage. But I do want you to know that people appreciate your input a lot.
And they're not necessarily the people that are going to be writing comments on YouTube or in Twitch chats, right? They are probably the 95% of Destiny players who don't have 40 hours a week to put into Destiny. They've got 5 or 1 to 10 hours a week to put into Destiny. But I feel like you've owned that part of the population, and it's a huge segment of the population. I think the podcast is sorely going to miss you. We're sorely going to miss you, and we can't wait till you come back.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I it's hard for me to take compliments. I've never been good at it, so apologize about my awkwardness.
Just press the unicorn.
Yeah,
that's what you do when you're struggling. Just
no, don't squeeze me. I'm hot.
That's beautiful.
Exactly, perfect.
Excellent.
Well said, Pope.
So,
well said.
Don't squeeze me.
I concur.
I think the interesting part of this is, like, I was talking this through with a friend of mine, and I was saying it feels so weird to say it's not you, it's me, right? And
I've used that one before.
It's true though. Like, it's not this, it's me. Like, I have this mentality of, I saw it when I bike raced. It's all or nothing, right? It's like I have to be really good at something, like it's obsessive about it, right? And so video games in a lot of ways were that for me, and it's just all I do. It's the podcast, it's video games, and so for me, not being, playing 2 to 4 hours a week, I sucked, and I still suck. I play offline now, and it's just like, to me, it was just like hard for me to be shitty at a game that I know I could be good at. And so, and it has to just be like time of like, so it's not the game, it's me. And I need to take a step back and recognize that I don't have to be the best at it.
Yeah.
that people want to hear from me because I'm not the best at it and I suck at it. And as a matter of fact, I just unlocked my 3rd subclass, bitches. Woo!
Moving
Today.
on up, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, you know, and I still haven't done the forges or the new raid or, you know, I did one forge with people who dragged me along. I couldn't even damage the people in there, but, so that's okay. But I can't reconcile that in my head though, Tefty. That's the problem. I can't like get it past
it's
my noggin.
It's good though that you realize it, and you like, instead of going all or nothing, because having a black and white attitude towards it can it's very destructive. Just ultimately it ends in kind of like being
not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's a destructive type of viewpoint. So being able to recognize it and know that you can't just flip a switch to fix that, but like you could take a little bit of time to then analyze it and then have a more nuanced perspective of it, and then come back and and have
it's hard because for me, you guys are my peers, right? You're my friends, the people that I enjoy talking to. And I'm, you know, you measure yourself often by your peers. And so many of us that are casual gamers, and I really am a casual gamer, is that you measure yourself by your clanmates or the people around you that have maybe more time to play.
I hate those labels, man, because like, there's nothing casual about you. You are as hardcore as it gets. You've got a time constraint.
But on top of that, I think that's part of what makes Destiny different, is that Destiny at its core has never truly been about measuring everything. It's been about the experience that you get with people. And like, I mean, one of the best things for me in the first year of D1 was seeing people get stuff that they've never gotten in a raid before, because they could never get into a raid. And so starting to do like raid runs on stream and seeing people get stuff for the first time, like, you know, I've done the raid a bunch of times, but this person's done it for the first time. Does that make me devalue their experience as a first time goer? No, it makes me value the experience greatly. So I don't think Destiny's ever been about that type of measuring, unless you're specifically trying to get like into the comp world, and you know,
and that's why
What's your ELO?
It's actually kind of funny because I'm not gonna like I was playing with somebody that it's really important in their opinion, and like why, you know, why they think the way they think, and we were talking back and forth about the state of the game, and I don't think people realize that all of us every day live and breathe this notion of what we want personally and what we want for the community, right? And it's so difficult for people to understand that. Like, I have my own personal opinions, but then I also know what's valuable for the game as a whole. And the funny thing is that I was articulating and advocating for a version of the game that was not sustainable for me for years.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that. Like, the game needed to change, and the change was not gonna be good for me. But it's whatever. It's like it's
I don't know, Pope. I think the game might have changed. It might have swung too hard in one direction.
Yeah.
Rather than like kind of accommodating to a lot of people. Like right now, like every piece of annual pass content we've gotten is basically for the most hardcore of hardcore players. If you're the type of player who used to play Destiny and come back, oh, they're releasing a new DLC, awesome, can't wait to check this out.
Yeah,
you know, this annual pass doesn't really have anything for you that we've seen so far, right? That may change in the future, but like there's nothing here for you. You have to grind for multiple hours just to get to a small piece of new content, the Forge, and then. You know,
and I think they heard that message, and I think Bungie is growing, and I really believe that they are trying new things and articulating ways of approaching this. I think that they're looking at the problem with, like, you know, the catch-up mechanics and all these things. What I'm saying is that currently, as the game is played right now, it doesn't fit what I need from it, and it's important to be able to people to be able to recognize that. And somebody jokingly said in chat, like, you know, the first step is acknowledging you know, that you have an addiction. Well, guess what? Video games is a fucking addiction, people. And if you haven't like looked in the mirror, you need to realize that. And it's not like, not to get too serious with it, but it's true. And you know, they're designed and to facilitate to elicit responses, and we play them and we get that. So try to change that, right? Try not to cut cigarettes. Try to only smoke one a day.
Games. Oh, sorry. Went a different way.
Play some video games. Stop smoking cigarettes.
Don't stop smoking. Just play video games.
No, I mean, as far as addictions are concerned, man. Like, here's the thing. It's interesting to me how people don't, you know, see the impact that it does have on their lives, and it's a balance is good, but for many of us, balance is hard.
Well, any hobby can be like that, whether you're into mountain biking or skiing, or, you know, vape, you know, blowing sick rings on vaping. You know, it doesn't matter what the hobby is. If you go too far to, you know, and get too focused on, you know, one aspect of life, then absolutely you're going to start, the rest of your life is going to start suffering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're in college and you're putting too much time into skiing, then you're going to fail out of college. If you've got a job and you're putting too much of your time and effort into raising a family, you're going to get fired. Like, you know, these are things, no matter what you're talking about, a part of your life, if you're spending a lot of time on it, it's going to, you know, it's going to take away time from other parts of your life. And being able to manage your time and being able to manage your attention and being able to manage your kind of, well, those things you know, it's an important thing. And yeah, video games are definitely designed to be addictive, but that's what we've been asking for. You know, we want our hobby to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't manage your time in something, then you definitely taking a step back is definitely a good way to go. A lot of people, you'll see forums all the time of people, you know, I'm going to college this month. I'm saying goodbye to my World of Warcraft friends for the next 4 years. You know, like, that's probably a good idea.
To be fair, having gone through that, it's more like every 3 months. It's like, hey guys, I'm going semester. It's time to. You're only going to see me on during the weekends, maybe.
Yeah.
It's important skill to know, and as a, you know, as an adult, and I know that there's a huge following of people who are not or younger. It's important to make those life decisions and recognize them, and to be able to adapt and to make a hard call. And it's interesting. I value this interaction a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this time that we have. So I think that when I look at it, I feel like we are very public figures in, you know, as any streamer is in this community in streaming and gaming. But we are very public, and I feel like I'm embracing that, and I want to share that and articulate that life is changes and evolves, and how do we adapt and change to those? I think that there's a lot of casual players out there that wish and desire them to have all the time in the world to play, right? And they can't.
Yeah.
And so how do they adapt and change to that? And I want to be able to articulate that in a very thoughtful way. And for me to do that, I need to take a step back, think, and come back at it in a way that I feel is meaningful. And that's I've heard nothing but supportive comments from this community, which makes it even more important for me to feel like I need to have something to give back. That's
one other thing before we stop talking about this, is that nobody remembers our take on you know, the trailer that hit before the Forsaken or the Thorn, or, you know, this meta or that meta. What they remember is us talking about bacon babies and you falling off the chair, and that's the stuff that people actually tune in for.
People don't tune
If
in for
you're-
Destiny. Let's be honest.
If you're not super tuned into what's going on in the world of Destiny, I wouldn't really worry about it too much.
We'll cover Destiny eventually, but you'll have to sit through 2 hours of lobster or crawfish and bacon babies.
Yeah,
I can't tell you how many times I get comments about stuff we talked about 2 years ago that was based off a Twitter question that made no sense to anybody, and we just riffed on it for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Speaking of dumb stuff, Holtz, how are you feeling in that suit?
It's really warm, but I'm committed to the role right now.
Do you need to turn
I
to
like
it?
how that you continue to use the.
You're in it.
Do you need to turn on the air conditioner or something?
I live in Seattle. I don't have AC.
Really?
Just open the window.
Yeah.
In a modern apartment?
AC here.
Nobody.
They don't need air
They don't
conditioning
do
there. It's
AC.
hefty.
What if you have a
And
heat
we
wave?
do-
We have heat.
Apparently,
Yeah,
they do.
I have two sources of heat: the electric heater, and the fucking fireplace, which is not gonna happen.
Can you open the
The
window?
fairy princess was right. I should not steal from the royal tuck.
Well said, Pope. Well said.
Well said.
I
That
have
really
something-
makes you think. It really makes you think.
Yeah.
I have something.
You're
I was
committed,
thankful for.
Holtz. This is great.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah,
Patrick's thankful
what you
for
got?
this.
So I completely acknowledge that, like, Guardian Con, the stupid butt tattoo thing, everything that basically we've all said is definitely on the list. But like, you guys probably know my kind of dream was I want to work in the game industry in some way. And like this year, I got to take 4 months off, and I got to go work at Bungie during the development of Forsaken. And like, holy shit, I'm thankful to for Bungie for giving me that opportunity, for like all the people I got to meet while I was there and still talk to. Like, that entire thing was just really fucking cool, and kind of like it solidifies in me saying, hey, I definitely want to do this in the future. And
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Huh?
You weren't on the podcast for 4 months?
Yeah.
Wait a second. He wasn't here.
Did you guys know this?
Yeah.
I heard.
Did we
several
continue
months.
paying?
I heard something about Hot Topic.
Yeah, actually.
Pretty
Yeah, you did.
sure
I heard
you
something
were-
about spelunking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Naked
I thought that
spelunking.
was just
There
on
was a-
weekends.
There was a slapback that I remember, but
the judge of the slapback.
Yeah.
it's judging.
All state.
Although-
pro.
That was
Delicious.
actually amazing, Holtzman. When you went there, it was like, I don't know. Like, I felt pride for you. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I was so happy for you that you got to have that opportunity. That was really a cool opportunity.
Yeah.
It was, and I
like,
cried. Thank you, Patrick.
I get that. And then at the same time, like, what I was worried about while I was there was like, at the end of this contract, I'm going to go back to YouTube and streaming. And is that going to work? Like, taking 3 to 4 months off, because the contract got extended, like 4 months off, like, from YouTube. The one thing that I learned while doing YouTube, if you take any time off, holy shit, it's bad. So 4 months off, oof. Like, and then Twitch, people still fucking stayed subbed to me while I was there, even though I specifically told them not to.
I canceled that shit.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. So like, it was something I wasn't expecting to just be like immediately being able to jump back into what I was doing 4 months prior, considering that it's something that is based upon you continually doing it.
Patrick,
So yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
telling this very heartwarming story,
Yes.
you are still pincering, and it is making
Yeah.
me giggle.
You're becoming the crawdad, which is
Oh,
incredible.
it means so much to me to be a part of Bungie, and what an amazing experience.
I said I'm committed.
He was a method actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I
Oh,
respect it.
man. Yeah. Before we move on,
Hey, you want to see how rainbows are made?
All
That's
right.
not good. I think I
That's
just
the best line.
I do like that. You want to see how rainbows are made.
Yeah, I'm curious.
This year, Destiny went through a huge journey. We went from vanilla Destiny 2 with Curse of Osiris and Warmine to then having Forsaken, which was nominated for things because it was so good. We went from this community of everyone was angry and very disappointed to every week in Forsaken people being just like, wow, this is amazing. The dungeon's amazing. The raid is like the best raid ever. The Dreaming City is insane. It was a huge journey for Destiny to go on. Community went through a lot.
And we got more journey coming up too in 2019. Like,
yeah.
This is the process for me has been what has been epic. Like, I literally was just a guy trying to get ready for a video game that I thought was pretty cool, and I started a clan, and next thing I know, there's like 60,000 people in it. And you know, brand advertising, right? Pick the right name, I guess.
we could have done better on the name for this one, but we were under a time crunch.
I think the name is awesome. Shut your face. Shut your claws.
You did pick it.
Clamp your claws.
I did pick it. I did pick it. People were surprised it wasn't taken. No, I think that for me, the journey has been what has been amazing. From literally not having any clue about what's going on and just being excited for a game to being. I mean, I don't think I told anybody this online, but being flown up to talk at Bungie, you know, that was in year one Destiny. I gave a speech, an hour long lecture to Jason Jones, you know, Pete Parsons, like the whole crew, like the whole, it was a time that was amazingly, like, I shouldn't have been there. Like why was I there? Right. And got an opportunity to see what happens behind the scenes in this amazing game. And it's just, the universe sort of strikes sometimes, and it gives you opportunities that you don't recognize, that you don't know, like that you aren't prepared for. And this has been that experience for me. It's been a roller coaster ride for me. And from the Dads of Destiny days to Planet Destiny to DCP, I feel like I've been blessed to meet these amazing people along the way. And God, man, you know, it's like you open up yourself to the universe and things happen. And so many people talk about the negative sides of the gaming community, but I feel like I've seen just so many positive things. It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like we're also somewhat lucky to have like a good curation of a community. You know, like the community leaders on so many different levels are such good stewards of how to behave. You know what I mean? Like in so many different ways.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash.
How
are you?
I'm good.
No, not to put you on the spot, but I mean,
you can't choose paycheck. I already took that one.
Yeah.
I think I'll
you can use exposure if you want.
Good God.
Fire is already exposed.
I think GuardianCon for me this past year, I got to meet all of you for the first time. And I was like incredibly nervous. I'm sort of an incredibly nervous person, but you guys all welcomed me, and I don't know, made me feel loved, and meeting, like, I guess working on this podcast, I forget how actually that people listen to it. I'm so focused on doing like a lot of the pre-production that I forget that people tune in and that people, you know, download it. And at GuardianCon, when you see the line that we had out from our booth and how excited people were to meet everyone, like, it's incredibly overwhelming. And getting to meet and chat with people after at the after party was amazing. And I also got to meet my clan, who they're all friends from Columbus, Ohio, and I just sort of stumbled into their clan because they helped me through King's Fall. And
Columbus, Ohio, really?
Yeah, I went there after GC.
That's really cool.
Which is a great experience. Yeah. the Luxor clan. Yeah, that was amazing because like I played solo Destiny for years, all the way up to Kingsfall, and then I sort of decided I needed to do a raid and jumped on the Sherpa Reddit, and they seemed really nice, and we just had a really good rapport, and they liked the way I sniped some knights, so they asked me to join, and yeah, it's the friendships through Destiny have been incredible, and being able to turn that into real life experiences is.
That's an incredible story.
Yeah.
So you met these guys through a Sherpa or through a LFG.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, you visit them across the world, literally on the other side of the planet. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is
amazing.
one of the best experiences of my life, I think, easily.
It's incredible.
And isn't it interesting meeting somebody who's you've only heard, right?
Yeah.
Like you have a mental image of who they are based on their voice and their interactions, and then you meet them in person. It's the craziest thing in the world. It is the nuttiest thing I've ever
And then you
had.
go in
It's
for the
the
hug, no
soup
matter
to
what they
nuts.
look like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
totally soup to
I
nuts.
still remember meeting you. Pope, first time I ever met you in person was at E3 when Taken King was announced, and I was like appalled at how short you were, but I still hugged you.
I was appalled at how little like deodorant you wear.
Yeah, it's LA, man. Just roll with it.
I mean, he
Gotta-
hugged me.
gotta
And,
do the part.
if you don't know, Holtz is like 7 feet tall, right?
Mhm.
And so my face is like his armpit. level.
Good job on
I
sizing
gotta-
his
I don't think that's true. I think he's average height.
It's my story, Briar. Stay out of my story. When I met Patrick for the first time, it was ironically outside of a Target, and he was in his element.
No, that was
Oh, boy.
that was PlayStation experience.
Oh, whatever.
The
It's my
first time
story.
I
Stay
met-
out of it.
First
Yeah,
time
for-
I met Patrick, I beat him in Trials of Osiris.
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Ooh.
Yep. Still hold a.
But then he did a really great narration of it on Planet Destiny. It was beautiful. Really set the atmosphere.
I remember talking about when I took break number 1, right? Because we're going into break 2.
Seasons of the break.
Seasons of the break. Pope's break 2.
Hmm.
That
I
might
think in
actually
this
be a
instance, we
podcast,
could
yeah.
still call it Season of the Balls.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pope breaks Pope season balls.
Still fits. Still fits.
We'll work on it. But and I remember talking about who my replacement was, who's going to be. And I'm like, it's got to be somebody, equally as good looking and dashing and, have charisma and all these things and all these factors that, I needed to fill. Right. Because,
Right.
how are you going to replace me? Right. And
True
so-
Vanguard wasn't available.
Right.
Dado.
Dado
We
would.
didn't
Dado
have Dado.
would never.
I mean, we went through a list, right? Like we were probably like 50 names deep, and people say it.
Then
and
you got to the bottom of the barrel.
the bottom, absolute bottom, and
Absolute
Watts
bottom.
was sitting there.
Then we started a new list.
We started a new list, right? It was 1 through 50. We destroyed that list because no one
Went through another list.
Went through another.
Went through
list.
another barrel.
And then we changed our criteria up a little bit, and then do they have a heartbeat? Right? Are they alive? And then the next person to respond gets the job, and it was
It was me. Yep.
Oh my
The
god.
rest was written.
Well, thank God it was.
Yep.
The podcast it wouldn't be the same without Watts, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we certainly wouldn't have won all of those podcasts.
Yeah.
That did not factor into the decision making at all.
Beating Bungie, aka Holtz, at
You're welcome.
Podcast.
Oh, you did not throw that.
Can I change my pick for the best moment of 2018?
Yeah, why did I
the
think of that?
montage?
God damn.
Oh,
The
Bungie
montage
showdown.
that was pretty great. That was the true highlight. right
that's
there.
my alarm. When I wake up in the morning, I'm watching the montage every
I
was
don't know if
lagging.
I told the story of what it was like on my end of that one.
Hold up. Let me see. I'm pretty sure you woke up, you ate a bowl of Get Goodios with some G Fuel milk. You were
Yes.
hyped, you were amped, you were at the peak of
You
your
were
game.
amped.
And then I
you
went into
just-
the Twitch studio and I was on a monitor that was like
Oh, these are the
released
excuses,
in the
Tefty.
fucking Halo 1 era. that somehow migrated from the studio over in
Oh, that
Chicago.
must have been
that
With
were
a
there.
basic controller.
Definitely excuses.
Basic
With a
bitch
bad
controller.
chair.
Well,
Bad
no, it was
chair.
really just
Desk was a little wobbly.
Was it snowing? Was it
did you
uphill?
did you have to wear headphones, or were you wearing like just like hearing the monitor through the speakers?
I could hear like myself talking. It was like, oh man, this is kind of annoying. I'm just not going to talk that much.
That's horrible. It must have been difficult. Not as difficult, and I know this isn't this year, but it really ranks up as an extreme highlight. I have to bring it forward. The normally calm, cool, and collected Tefty Teft losing his shit over the sword hilt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was
What are you talking about? I
only
don't know.
time I
No,
have ever
actually,
seen
we had
Tefty lose
we
his
had
shit.
Tefty lose his cool during our Sea of Thieves stream.
Oh yes.
And
Oh, that's
My
right.
patience- My patience was definitely tested on that. 100%.
I wasn't there,
I was definitely
but
tested
I heard
on
about
that.
it.
Whew.
Patrick spent a lot of time in the brig,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
and I
Pat,
believe he got muted by
Pat,
Tefty.
you're gifted at some of these aspects, man. Where did you go? Training? Is there training involved for them for this?
For what?
Is there such a thing as like opposite of charms?
Is it a certain quota of crawdads you have to eat per year to gain the skill?
Well, see, it's this amazing thing when you drink. Oh fuck, I'm out. When you drink and then you know that you're on the other end, Tefty.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You know.
There it is. It's just easy.
What about
It's easy.
the zenith of your kind showdown between Tefty and Pope Bear at Guardian Con?
Ooh.
I don't know what you're talking about. That nothing like that ever happened.
The Zenith
No,
shotgun
I-
experience, right?
I don't.
Yeah, I remember.
What are you talking about?
It was on Burning
I mean,
Shrine.
that didn't happen.
This is
Some-
true.
some raid
I may or may
shotgun
not have blocked
action.
out some very specific moments at Guardian Con. So I'm gonna have Tefty relive that because I can't seem to recall any of that.
Well, what I recall is I was trying to be like, let's just say I was trying to be a good sport and not use something that I would consider super cheap or something, you know? And so the first round I used a fusion rifle. All right. And you kept hitting me with, I think you were using a fusion rifle too, right? Something like that. Yeah. So you kept beating me with like the not cool weapon, and I got a little annoyed by it. And so the second round, I whipped out the old Zenith and just shotgun rushed you the whole time. It was slide shotty. And yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you
I remember
did kill me
I had
once,
you-
So there was that.
I had you up against the ropes in game one,
I was. It was pretty like neck and neck in
and
game
then
one.
and then Tryhard. No, it was not. Then Tryhard.
Did you destroy me on game one?
I believe I did.
No, I think it was pretty close. Because I was trying to use like some primaries. I was trying to be like Destiny 2 vanilla, which wasn't working. So then I whipped out a shotgun, and lo and behold, it was very different with the shotgun.
I don't remember any of this, but I do remember being at the booth and Pope coming back and saying, "Fuck Tefty, that son of a bitch." Let's kick him off the podcast. I'm going to assume that was related.
I blew him a kiss afterwards.
Potentially.
Do you remember the kiss I blew you? Pope?
Yes, I do remember the kiss you blew me.
Did you not
I
cherish
remember those.
that gift?
It was a gift. It was a gift that that keeps on giving.
It was
No,
it was a fun match, Pope.
No, it was good. I think that more importantly, that showed me or reminded me the importance of maintaining our PvP community.
Oh yeah.
And
Having
it's,
Watts on our team.
yes.
Oh, sorry.
It's so often, and I can actually be guilty of this at times, of just expressing how much easier it would be if Destiny only had PvE. And but it's this PvP community that I feel really galvanizes us. When we saw it at Guardian Con, I felt it a little bit at the Scuf booth at the second Guardian Con. but having that competitive nature and Gambit up on stage when Watts sniped TV, you know, and got the double snipe on TV, got the double snipe on us. I mean, she's got the cup right there to prove it. I mean, it's those moments remind me of how important, you know, the PvP community is, and it's a voice that needs to be heard and respected in this community. And I think the game can still be what they need. So that was my takeaway from that whole experience. I really appreciated Peter and Farcog and Get Wrecked with Anubis for helping to put that together in literally weeks. I came with them with the idea like 2 weeks.
I'm not sure we knew about that until we were actually at GuardianCon, did we?
Yeah, no, I had done here's the thing, Briar. I plan stuff and then I tell you about it and you're like, okay. And then you go do it. So that's
it's true.
Hey, Briar, you know how you haven't used a controller in a year?
Yeah.
Go play some of the best players in Destiny.
And try not to make a fool of yourself.
that part's gonna be harder.
It's a great, and to be honest with you, I can tell you that we haven't, one of our sponsors that helps make this podcast possible has been standing by us for years now, and Scuf Gaming has been part of that, and they've invited us, and we've been an active partner in events and connecting at. It's great to see a company connect to a podcast like ours. We're not like the hugest out there, but they're supportive of us, and they make sure to stand by us, and I really appreciate that. He looks like an overcooked crawfish right now.
Crawfish from the dead.
Oh boy.
Resurrected crawfish.
For the audio listeners, Briar is also rubbing his nipples.
Yes. That's
he is removing the tape from his nipples now.
The tape has come off the nips.
No.
Unsheathe.
We should wrap this up before we get copyright or before we get
hit with the
is that my cue for my wonderful segues to an abrupt ending?
Did everybody talk about?
Have we talked about talks?
What
talks?
What talks?
No, don't squeeze me. I'll fart.
That's great. That's better than I thought it was going to be.
That's so nice. Well,
and with that,
wait. We're not done yet.
Oh, I want to say I'm looking forward to something coming up next year, and that's me, Holtz, and Ash going to Japan together.
Ooh.
That'd be sweet.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's gonna be
a good time.
Yeah, we're not doing the podcast while we're there, by the way.
We could live from an Idol concert. There will be glow sticks. There will be chanting.
When is that happening?
We're going in April.
April. All right, Tefty. Yeah. We got to gear up for a fucking bang out 2-man podcast.
Do you want to go to Japan? Fair?
You could just go to Japan.
Yeah, let's do that.
I might find myself crashing that podcast just to be so you don't
Japan
have to
podcast.
The Japan podcast.
All right, awesome.
There's a oh shoot, what was I gonna say? More than anything else, I think that when we look at this past year and where we are now, I'm really thankful. I'm really hopeful for 2019. I have a feeling that we're gonna have a lot of great experiences. It's too much to talk about, too much to tell, but more than
90% more nipples in 2019. It's gonna be
instead of the season of the balls, it's gonna be season of the nips.
Season of the nips.
Mm-hmm. And I am ready.
Good thing.
And every time I try to get serious, you guys just bring in the nips.
That's true.
Snip the nips, exactly.
Sniff the nips. If you're listening to us right now, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much to all of our patrons. It's an extremely important aspect.
Clear your throat.
Clear your throat.
It is an extremely important aspect of this podcast is to be supported by you guys, and it allows us to do what we do. Thank you very much, and I love each and every one of your faces.
Well said.
Yes, thank you guys for your support through Planet Destiny to DCP to leaving Tefty's channel and making our own channel and YouTube. It's been a lot of changes, and you guys have stuck with us the whole way.
We lost our lead mod, and we gained a new one. I mean, we lost Aries, and we gained Mr. Holly mod.
Yep.
I miss Aries. Like, he was so much better. This Hollymod character is terrible.
He has an ego, right? Mr. Hollymod thinks he's a Hollymod. We want Aries back, I think.
Like, where did that guy go? Aries was awesome.
He just disappeared.
This Hollymod dude is a total prick.
Oh.
It's like I need to get paid for my services. He's just all in our face right now.
Exposure, Hollymod, exposure.
Didn't Aries ask us if it was time for his name to get changed because it's been like 6 months?
He did.
We do need to decide.
Wait, what do you mean?
I think we can decide
Aries
right here now.
Here.
Aries, we get to decide right now.
Let's do it right now. Does he keep the name Hollymod, or does he go back to Mr.
I can set up
Aries?
a poll for chat. Do you guys want me to?
Yeah?
Yes, please. Watts is setting up a poll. We need to decide here and now if our lead mod Aries,
Is
aka
he going back
Mr.
to
Hollymod,
Aries?
is he going back to Aries, or is he staying?
Because he changed his name for Guardian Con. Remember? That was incentive.
And technically, his terms of service are up.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
So he
6
has
months.
every right, but he is agreed
Right. So
to allow the people to speak.
we are looking for a new mod because Mr. Hollymod is going away.
Right now, currently, Aries and Mr. Hollymod are fired. And you guys
He's
are going to
getting
decide
unmodded
which one we
tonight,
hire
guys.
back.
We're going to do /unmod.
Man, I really should have picked a milestone that could have gone back on or redone, like Mr. Aries.
Well, live and learn.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
gonna have a fucking sweet tattoo though.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, what's going on with that tattoo? Do we have a final design?
Yes, we do.
Me too.
And do
Really?
you want to show it, Ash?
Can we?
I
think we
show it.
can.
It's
Is
in
it
the
on the
folder.
iPad? It's in the folder? Tefty, you have access to the folder. Can you show it?
Not
I
really.
Can't. Tefty
Not really.
can't be
Here.
unless we do it before
Just
this.
bring it
Yeah,
up
I need
on
to.
your,
I need to have it prepped.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be all
It,
catawampus.
it involves us having a pixelated heart.
Mhm.
All right,
With,
so next week we'll reveal the.
There you go.
The results?
Yeah, I think next week we should reveal the tattoo.
Yeah. All right.
How's that poll going, Watts?
The poll is
Remain
in
Hollymod
the chat.
is
Hollymod's
way up high.
sweating bullets right now.
and it's getting higher.
Oh, yep. It's higher.
Oh, there's a lot.
Change back to Aries is getting higher. Okay,
If
70%.
change back to Aries.
Change back to Aries.
Real high.
Yeah.
So no one likes
Wow.
Hollymod. Everyone preferred our
Wow.
old mod, Mr. Aries. Well,
I'm voting
I
for
would
Hollymod.
agree.
Fuck these people.
Yeah, I'm voting for Hollymod.
Oh, I meant, my mic's hot, huh?
I muted you.
Thought-
Don't worry.
Okay, good. Oh man. So can you believe how long have we been doing this? 3 years, guys?
Something like that.
No, longer than that. 4 years. 2014, I think we started.
long
Wow.
time.
I think it was like January or February 2014.
And this is like close to being my longest relationship ever.
I'm honored.
I don't know, that's probably easy to find out. When was the first Planet Destiny podcast?
It was.
I thought the
around
podcast started
when
around.
Dark Below.
Yeah, I thought
That's
it.
when Dark Below
I
released.
thought it started
So
around
was
like
it
February.
2013?
Like January, February was
Destiny,
the first.
Destiny wasn't out in 2013.
Yeah, 2014
Yeah,
was
it
when
was.
it came out.
2014.
I thought 2013 it came out.
No, 2014.
So 2014. So it must have been 2015 that we started the podcast.
Yep.
No, it
It
was,
was
still in
Dark Below. February Dark Below.
70.
You sure it didn't come out in 2013?
very much sure.
Briar, I'm going to give you some hard facts right now. It came out September
All right.
2014.
All right.
September, yeah.
The first episode was me and Sir Wallen, and me, Sir Wallen,
Wally.
Briar, and me, Sir Wallen, Briar, Tefty,
Wally.
and then after that, we had someone we started introducing guests to the podcast where we had someone tell us the correct name of Galahorn.
Oh, I remember that episode. That was awesome.
Yeah. And then after that,
didn't the second guest accuse us of stealing their content on YouTube?
No, that was someone else. And then we had
that shall not be spoken.
Yeah. And then who was it again? Oh yeah, no. Then we had Pope Bear on, as the 6th or 7th episode with Deej as well.
And then I refused to leave.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, so can I do this? And I was like, yeah, sure. We can have 20.
It was literally like that. It bugged the crap out of me. I was like, so I want to do this thing where we continue to, I can help be a part of it. And, between Patrick's like, all right, I guess you can come back. That literally is, that was my introduction to the podcast was, all right, I guess you could come back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nailed it.
You know exactly where I stand on things. It's not very difficult to find out.
I just want to dial it back over to the Holly mod situation. Turns out, 69%. Not kidding. 69%
rigged
would like a change back to Mr. Aries. 69%. All right.
There we go. I think it's been decided.
Well, there's your answer,
Mr. Aries.
All right.
Thank you very much for the community and their involvement. In our charity streams last year alone, we raised over $130,000 for St. Jude, and we're extremely proud of that. Aries was a part of that, as well as the rest of our team. Nick, our audio editor, just a stud behind the dials, always making me sound good and taking
Nick, please auto-tune his voice for that section. Thanks.
And taking the clickety clacks out of Watts' keyboard.
There was some serious clickety clacks in the beginning, Nick. I'm sorry.
And
just for old times.
And not even a recording, right? There's not even a recording of yours. Anyway, and then we had some people that helped out in different times during our growth. And I want to highlight one of our biggest benefactors, CC Kuhn. He started off just appreciating and supporting us for our mission, but then stayed and became, a good friend to many of us. So
CC Kuhn got me a gift for Christmas. Oh fuck! I gotta take my headphones off. Can I show it?
Okay, I want to see it.
You can show it.
Can we get some DCP lurk in the chat?
Yes. Yeah.
We don't have to be silent while he's
in
away.
honor
We can continue talking.
CC Kuhn.
He's the king of lurkers.
Pope, you can continue to talk.
No, somebody else take over because the only thing I can think
I'd like to thank Sly for her hard work on our videos. She made some amazingly hilarious edits. So
wish her all the best of luck right now. She just
became a mom.
That's awesome.
Recently.
What is, oh my God, for the audio listeners, Patrick is holding a ginormous sword.
It's Frostborn.
Who?
It's a sword from World of Warcraft.
It's a sword from World of Warcraft.
That's incredible.
I'm an anime character now.
For those who are listening via the podcast, Patrick is definitely not...
Basically a Dark Souls boss.
We officially have a crawdad holding a mythical magical sword. I am nervous. He's now cackling and pointing the sword at the
hairy. He's got the hairy belly button. That's just somebody clip that. That's crazy.
That's incredible.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful sword.
That's a great sword.
I think in the end, what we end up doing is spending our Thursdays here with each other, and I couldn't see it any other way. So, well, actually, I could. So.
And that's why he's leaving.
Bye, Pope.
Just had a change of heart. You'll catch this on another episode.
No, I definitely had a change of heart in the sense that this community obviously impacts me greatly, and it became apparent that I can't not, come back. So I will drop in occasionally, and when time and all that applies, and I will be my annoying self as it is. So, but this has been fun.
This
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
I'm waiting for the freaking crawdad to wrap it.
Crawdad got to wrap it. Clawed up.
Clawed up.
Clawed together.
Okay. It's very warm in these. I'm practically being boiled.
They're mittens. They're mittens.
Also, I wanted to say that as I was bringing it over here, I totally stabbed the shit out of my ceiling because the thing is really long. I'm not used to wielding a sword, so.
Is there a dent?
Put some toothpaste in there before.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put some toothpaste in there, and they're not gonna notice shit. It's great.
You're good to go.
Yep. All right, my apartment complex. Let's see how well you actually check this place. All right. Thank you all for tuning in to this Christmas edition. I don't think it was as bad of a train wreck as I said it was going to be, but I hope you all. I hope you all enjoyed
break your
it.
Ceiling. So
it's more of like one small section is broken. Like,
do you have panels?
I hope your neighbors don't come through the ceiling due to its.
No. It's just I stabbed
From
the
a
ceiling.
sword
Did you say
poking?
you were annoyed by your like neighbor from up top anyway?
No. My neighbor at top's actually pretty chill for the most
Was it
part.
the one to the other
And that's
side?
if you stabbed him in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that before or after showing the sword?
I apologize, upstairs neighbor. Well, if I stabbed them with the legendary sword Frostmourne, I now have their soul within the sword, and the only way for them to become undead is to then break the sword, but that can only be done by wielding the mythical Ashbringer as well. Hey, if you guys want to see more of me, I'm at Holton_YT on Twitter, where you can find me probably posting pictures of me making a baked chicken at 6:30 in the morning. It was delicious,
Nice.
by the way.
Great.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on Twitter. Just look up Briar Rabbit at the Briar Rabbit. Streaming daily, somewhat on Twitch. Just come over to Briar Rabbit on Twitch, or I got a new YouTube video going up tomorrow that I've been editing today. So look up Briar Rabbit on YouTube.
I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. You can catch my streams, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. Typically start around 6 p.m. Pacific time, never on time, actually. Sometimes early, most of the time late. Yeah, that's about it.
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Miss 5000 Watts.
I'm Ash. You can find me on Twitter at AR_McD. Doing nothing.
That is not true.
It's not true. You make
Crafting
wonderful
amazing
I
art.
don't really retweet anything.
Okay.
I post.
And this has been Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter sometimes at Pope Bear. And make sure to follow the podcast at DCP_live. And remember, if you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button. It helps us out tremendously. We have a ton of great guests lined up. I just finished this schedule for January and February. Don't want to spoil it because there's just a lot of fun coming up. And stay tuned. All right. We've got a great next year in store. And I wanted to thank you for the last year. It's been special.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas.
I will see.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Happy
I
New
will
Year.
Happy New
see
Year.
Happy holidays.
all of you next year and next week.
The very
Is it
princess
actually-
was right. I should not steal from the royal taco.
Oh my god. All right.
Nick, I am giving you complete discretion to leave that in or out.
Yeah.
For the final
Remix
part
that
of the
into a hot
podcast.
song.
You can just
Yes,
you just
please do that.
Yeah.
I want it to be a
hard cut it.
song.
Yep.
or just
If
leave
the
this part
title
in.
of the podcast isn't "Do you know where rainbows come from?" I'll be very disappointed.
Thank you for saving me my job this
Oh my
week, Briar.
God.
Thank you of picking the podcast
Where
title.
rainbows come.
Oh yeah, by the way, bye. We can stop recording. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You can roll credits
Bye, everybody.
and then back for sub readouts. Bye.
Mhm.